Welcome back. It's episode 41 here at Tech Headlines Today, where you can get all the top tech headlines in an easy listening podcast. Go ahead and subscribe or follow if you haven't yet. We won't judge. If you're new, we've got show links in the description, which give more details on the topics that we cover. So now, let's get into it. Google will test alternatives to its Play Store billing system, starting with Spotify. Google's plans to test third-party billing systems in Android with a few developers, including Spotify. Spotify's users will have the choice to pay for the company's premium service using either Google or Spotify's billing system. Spotify has been working with Google on a pilot of user choice billing, which could be a breakthrough for the company. For Google, the pilot is a defensive move on its part. The company has spent time lobbying against legislation that would prevent app marketplaces from locking third-party developers into their payment systems. Chronological feed returns to Instagram with two new options. Instagram is adding the option to switch to a chronological feed, but the algorithm feed will remain the default. Yesterday, Instagram introduced two new content feeds, called Favorites and Following, that will display posts in chronological order. Our research shows that people are more satisfied with a ranked feed, so we are not defaulting people into the chronological feed experience, a Meta spokesperson tells PC Mag. The Following feed and the Favorites feed will show posts from accounts you follow in the order they were published, and favorite accounts will show higher in your home feed. In December, Instagram head Adam Mosseri told Congress that the platform was working on a chronological feed after lawmakers questioned if Instagram's algorithms can, quote, manipulate user behavior. We want you to be able to shape Instagram into the best possible experience, and giving you ways to quickly see what you're most interested in is an important step in that direction, Mosseri said in Wednesday's announcement. Mosseri added, "We'll continue to build features like Favorites and Following to give you more choice and control over what you see, and help make the time you spend on the app feel more intentional." Google to pause ads that exploit or dismiss Russia-Ukraine war. Google is taking additional steps to make it clear that it won't help websites or YouTube channels sell ads alongside content that exploits or condones the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. In an email to publishers seen by Reuters, Google said ads would not run alongside, for example, claims that imply victims are responsible for their own tragedy or similar instances of victim blaming, such as claims that Ukraine is committing genocide or deliberately attacking its own citizens. Google also bars ads that capitalize on sensitive events and has applied that policy to war. Nvidia's Clara Holoscan MGX means to bring high-powered AI to the doctor's office. This week, Nvidia, a company best known for its high-powered graphics processing units, or GPUs, debuted a platform for the development of AI-powered medical devices. The device, called Clara Holoscan MGX, provides computing power allowing medical sensors to process multiple data streams in parallel, train AI algorithms, and visualize biology in real time. The device can connect directly to a doctor's camera to help AI detect anomalies, navigate through your anatomy, and help the surgeon come up with a treatment plan. Nvidia's new Clara Holoscan developer kit will reduce the overall development time to bring future active surgical products to market in the next 2 years. E-Ink's new Gallery Plus Color ePaper supports 60,000 colors. The quality of color electronic paper took a big step forward this week with the launch of E-Ink Gallery Plus. As Lilliputting reports, the previous generation, E-Ink Gallery, offered a maximum of 4,096 colors and a contrast ratio of between 10 and 14%. For Gallery Plus, E-Ink increased the colors supported to 60,000 and upped the contrast ratio to 40%. E-Ink's Gallery Plus is a new technology that can be used for digital signage, which is already happening in Taipei. With the big upgrade in color and contrast, color e-readers are surely becoming a more viable option and ultimately a replacement for existing models. US and Canada collaborate to tackle cybercrime. The United States and Canada held talks on Tuesday to explore how the countries could collaborate better to counter cross-border illegal activity, including cybercrime. Attending the meeting in Washington, D.C. were Merrick Garland, the Attorney General of the United States, and his Canadian counterparts, David Lametti, Canada's Attorney General and Minister of Justice. In attendance also were Alejandro Mayorkas, the U.S. Secretary of Homeland Security, and Marco Mendicino, Canada's Minister for Public Safety. The countries have agreed to work together to improve coordination around reporting of ransomware attacks that can affect cross-border critical infrastructure. They also plan to identify and implement options to strengthen sectors of our economies that are increasingly targeted by criminals and to implement effective responses. Given the interconnectedness of U.S. and Canadian industry and economies, we affirm our shared commitment to work bilaterally to combat common cyber threats, such as ransomware attacks, and to strengthen critical infrastructure, cybersecurity, and resilience, said the U.S. Department of Justice Office of Public Affairs in a statement regarding the meeting's outcome. NASA's robotic glove finds a fit. It's no coincidence that our most complex, versatile, and useful body part, the human hand, is also among the most prone to injury. The human hand and forearm are a marvel of capability for its size, said Jonathan Rogers, a mechanical design engineer at NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston. So it's no surprise that one of the biggest obstacles to creating the first robot astronaut to fly in space was building its hands. The hands were also the first aspect of the robot to be commercialized. Factory workers around the globe are now trying out Iron Hand, a robotic glove designed to help them perform repetitive tasks without fatigue or injury. NASA and General Motors worked together to build Robonaut 2, an industrial-strength robotic glove that could perform simple tasks alongside astronauts back in 2006. The partnership brought half a dozen GM engineers to Johnson, where they helped design and build the robot that flew to the International Space Station 5 years later, and proved it could perform simple tasks alongside astronauts. Rogers said, with that work completed, the team recognized that we could repackage the finger actuator drivetrain into a wearable device that could help both astronauts and auto workers. Find out more about this cool tech by checking out the article in our show links. Nvidia is exploring using Intel's foundry service to build chips. Nvidia is considering using Intel's new foundry business to build chips, but any partnership will take time to cement, according to Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang. They're interested in us using their foundries. We're very interested in exploring it, Huang said of Intel during a press conference on Wednesday. Intel's foundry business was only announced a year ago, so any partnership would probably occur years from now when the foundry's manufacturing technologies become more competitive with rivals TSMC and Samsung. Foundry discussions take a long time, Huang added. Our partnership with TSMC and Samsung in the last several years is something that took years to cultivate. Huang said Intel would have to prove it is capable of competing with leading foundries like TSMC before it commits to tapping the foundry service. Intel is becoming a direct competitor to Nvidia in the graphics sector, launching its first dedicated gaming GPUs for laptops next week, and its first gaming desktop graphics card in over 20 years in Q2. However, Jensen said he has no problem sharing chip designs with Intel's foundry services, even with the competition. He pointed out that it's common for tech companies to share product details with each other, given that many hardware systems work with components from multiple vendors. We've been working closely with Intel for years, sharing with them our roadmaps long before we've shared them with the public, Huang said. Intel has known our secret for years. A new type of ultraviolet light can disinfect large public areas. A new type of ultraviolet light can reduce the level of indoor airborne microbes by more than 98% in less than 5 minutes. Far UVC light can be used to reduce airborne-mediated diseases, including COVID, influenza, and possibly future pandemics, and could be installed in ceilings where people gather. Scientists have known for decades that germicidal UV light kills airborne viruses, but far UVC light is safe for people because it can't penetrate into living skin cells or eye cells. In one experiment, researchers continuously sprayed an aerosol mist of bacteria into a room and used far UVC lamps to kill the bacteria. Within 5 minutes, 98% of airborne microbes were destroyed by the far UVC light. The level of viable microbes remained low over time, even though microbes were still being sprayed into the room. Our trials produce spectacular results, far exceeding what is possible with ventilation alone, said Kenneth Wood, senior author of the study. In terms of preventing airborne disease transmission, far UVC lights could make indoor places as safe as being outside on the golf course on a breezy day. YouTube starts streaming full seasons of TV shows for free. US viewers can now stream full seasons of TV shows on YouTube for free with ads. Stream nearly 4,000 episodes of popular programs like Hell's Kitchen, Andromeda, and Heartland, available to watch on the web, mobile devices, and most connected televisions via the YouTube TV app. More people are choosing to experience YouTube on the big screen with family and friends, according to the video sharing platform, which reached more than 135 million US viewers on connected TVs in December, based on a Nielsen report. The move comes long after companies like Plex, Roku, Vizio, and Samsung launched their own ad-supported streaming TV options. Free TV shows join the platform's lineup of gratis ad-supported movies, including Gone in 60 Seconds, Legally Blonde, and Runaway Bride. Bingers beware, the company plans to add up to 100 shows and movies each week. As an added bonus, YouTube is rolling out new streamlined navigation and immersive banner art, making it easier to find what you're looking for while browsing from the comfort of your couch. Thanks for joining us for another episode of THT. Help us out by sharing the episode. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and we'll see you tomorrow.